One, two, Freddy's coming back. 3, 4, better lock your fucking door. 5, 6, he's got new pronouns now. 7, 8, safe space bullshit, holy shit, wow. Sleep, my children, close your eyes. Freddy's here to deconstruct your fucking lies.
He's an allegory for oppression and hate, with the lecture on privilege before he seals your fate.
1, 2, Freddy's woke as shit for you.
Never sleep again.
Or he'll cancel your ass too. Burned in the boiler, now he's born again. Trigger warning on his blade, what the fuck, my friend? No more fun scares, just guilt and shame. Micro fucking aggressions in your nightmare, same game. Now slash your dreams with equity and pride, while the final girl gives a TED talk and fucking cries. This ain't the Kruger that we fucking know.
Elevated or diluted. Either way, this shit is cooked.
No one asked for this. Sleep, my children, close your eyes. Freddy's here to deconstruct your fucking lies.
He's an allegory for hatred and fear, but the script's so bloated the theater's fucking clear.
1, 2, Freddy's back in the news.
This movie's cooked.
Sweet dreams, you fools. 9, 10, never sleep again.
Check your bias, feel the goddamn pain.
Freddy's coming.
But he's not the fucking same.
What up, motherfuckers? How you doing? Welcome back, Hollywood After Dark Monday night. It's what day is it? It's the 13th of July. Can't believe we're already almost halfway through the month. Can't believe the Odyssey drops in a couple days. And I'll tell you, we got to talk about the Odyssey. We will a little bit later, but let me give y'all just a little bit of a tease about what's going on with the Odyssey. It's not good. Dude, guys, it's bad. Like, okay. This movie will make money. I'm just going to start off by saying that. But like when I start showing you like movie theaters and how no one is going to like the non-IMAX screens, it's going to shock you because that's something that I feel really hurt this movie. I really feel that the constant push for IMAX has created this level of elitism that is only going to hurt the movie in the long run. IMAX are doing great, right? Those tickets are selling like motherfucking hotcakes and shit, but you can't get people to go see a non-IMAX, non-premium large format screening of this movie. And that is going to hurt the long tail. That's going to hurt the long. It might help it with like repeat viewings because people are going to be like, I saw it once in IMAX. I don't need to go back and see it again in IMAX. But yeah, it ain't great, guys. Like, it's not good at all. Let me take a look here at the chats. Ahsoka dropping a 2 spot to kick the night off, saying, watching Backrooms, it's good so far. Yeah, no, I really enjoyed Backrooms quite a bit. I know the Everything Must Go edition, I think the extra footage is coming to Kane Parsons' YouTube account here very soon. The movie should be coming out on digital very soon. We'll have to wait and see how well it does on digital, at least according to A24, because, you know, that information is largely an industry guarded secret. You know, like when we talk about physical media and physical media sales, you know, a lot of that is actually kind of kept out of the conversation. And so you never really know like how much physical media is doing. You know, it used to be a lot bigger than it is now. Now they say that it's underneath $1 billion a year in profit. Still a billy is a billy is a billy. You know what I mean? But digital is like 57 billion, just to give you an idea of the discrepancy between the two. However, I still like my physical media. Did I actually see the Odyssey? Fuck no. If you okay, what you're referring to is a post I made yesterday that angered and confused people, and I thought it was pretty straightforward, to be honest with you. But I guess I was a little bit on the mistaken side here. So let me just bring this up. All right, here. So let's take a look at this here. Okay, so what we're looking at here is a post I made on Twitter yesterday, where I said, I can't believe I just saw the Odyssey in 70 millimeter IMAX. The visuals, the music, the cinematography. It's hard to contain the emotion and excitement. I can't share with you anything, but look at the goosebumps on my legs. Absolutely life-changing. 22,000 views, 134 likes, 10 retweets. And I want to show you guys this right here. Roger Avery. Okay. Roger Avery, the co-writer of Pulp Fiction. That Roger Avery, also, by the way, who follows me on Twitter. Out of 800 people in the world that he could follow, I am one of the people that Roger Avery fucking follows. That's wild as shit. The reason is because I like AI. But can you guys spot potentially why just maybe this image is getting a little bit of attention here? Okay, I just want to kind of we'll do a little bit of Blade Runner effect here. Okay, we're going to zoom in on it a little bit. Now look at the legs, look at the feet. All right, looking a little bit off, right? But what's right there in the center? What's right there in the center of the seat? What do you think that could be? What do you think that could possibly fucking be? That's right there in the, not only on the pant leg, but just right there in the fucking center. Right? This is what everyone's been missing. Maybe because I made this for like a phone image or whatever. Oops. Let's zoom in on this one right there. What do you think that is, guys? What do you think it's supposed to be? It ain't liquefied Elmer's glue. All right. Okay. That's a lot of fake. Just the whole image is fake. The whole image is not real. The whole image is absolutely AI generated. All right. But I ran it through a couple different AI filters, different AI programs in order to get it to look as realistic as I could. The weird glaze over here on there, but this is really what it boils down to right here. And maybe I should have moved it closer to about right here. It would have been easier to see, but it was a joke. It was a joke, and people took it fucking seriously. If this ends up in a trailer, then the movie promotion is dumb. I was kind of hoping that it was gonna happen. I mean, more as a joke. Spherical Command says Jarbo was pulling a Snorlax. Just wait, Matt Sweet's gonna get up on some advertisements. Maybe. If I haven't looked. There's like 120 responses. I have not looked at the responses yet. I don't even care. It's not gonna happen though. I thought it was pretty fucking funny. But you know what though? You know what? Since we're talking about the Odyssey and seeing it, we'll kind of just lead with that. Okay. So I'm just gonna like show you guys this particular theater I'm looking at right here. Okay. I just want to show you guys this. I just need to find a way to bring it up here. Come on. All right, hold on a second. For some reason, going back in time is very difficult to do. Looking at this one theater here. Okay, there we go. All right, here we go. We're starting off here. So this is the Regal Bridgeport Village. This is right outside of Portland, Oregon, in my old town of Tigard. This is where I grew up and shit. This is a nice theater. Last time I was here was to watch the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie a long time ago, almost a decade ago now. Crazy to think about. But either way, this was a Toy Story showing you sicko. It's not a real fucking thing, dude. But yes, that would be gross if I did that. Good thing I didn't do that. So anyway, So this is Regal Bridgeport. And I want you guys to go and look this up yourself, by the way. I want you guys, I do. I want you guys to actually go and look this up in your local theater while we're talking. And then if it's, and then show me and we'll take a look at it. But this is Regal. This is Regal Bridgeport. I'll show you the Regal near me too for comparison. But this is in a higher traffic area. Okay. This is a nice theater in right outside of Portland, Oregon. All right. So looking here, July 16th. Okay. The Odyssey coming in, right? 2 hours. Okay. We're going to take a look here at the IMAX screening of the Odyssey. Okay. So we look at the IMAX screening here for 3 p.m. Sold out, basically, right? 7 p.m. sold out. Okay. Let it verify for that. 11 p.m. sold out. That's on Thursday. All right. Come over here to Saturday. You're going to get a lot of the same stuff. 7:15 a.m. almost sold out. Right. Sold out for 11 a.m. I'm 7 p.m., 11:05 p.m. almost sold out. Now, there's a reason why I'm bringing that up. Okay. Because the IMAX of this stuff is doing really well. But let's come over here to just the standard. Okay. Right. The standard theater shit, not IMAX, whatever, man. Look at this here. 2:30 p.m. Right. They got the first one at 3 p.m. in IMAX. There are 6 tickets sold for 2:30 p.m. on the 16th. 3:30 p.m. there are 5 tickets sold. 6:30 p.m. a few more, but not by many. Still only just a handful of tickets compared to how many people could sit in that theater. All right. Look at this here. 7:30 p.m. Thursday night prime time screening. Look at how many tickets are sold. All right. Look at how many for 10 o'clock, 10:30. Okay. Jumping over here to Friday, 7:40 a.m. Not a single ticket. Why would it, right? But jump forward to 2:05 p.m. right around a good time. Still 5 tickets sold. 3:35 p.m. no tickets sold. Let's just go ahead to 7:30 p.m. Still handful of tickets are sold. I'm talking local theaters. Okay. All right. This is what I'm talking about. People are not buying tickets to go and see the Odyssey in anything other than IMAX. Now, and I'm not shitting on that because that's what this movie is being. It's what this movie is being absolutely, marketed towards, right? Like large premium format. Even coming over here, this is for the standard definition. This is the standard 70 millimeter, right? Sold out 6 p.m. The, the 10 o'clock show is still doing pretty good from the looks of it there, if it wants to load. All right. Well, it has this area over here. Well, it's having issues. But my whole point is that the large premium formats are going to be what moves. Check theaters in big cities like LA, New York, Miami, Seattle. I don't have to. Those are big cities. Those are going to, again, we're talking finite amount of numbers of theaters here that have IMAX. Okay, finite. There's only 19 70 millimeter screens in the country. There's like under 400 IMAX screens in the United States. And most of those are just retrofitted IMAX or screens meant to then, invoke the LIMAX. We've talked about this before. Okay. So it doesn't matter. So going into like major cities, Portland, this is right outside of Portland. This is in a high traffic suburban area. All right. And it's not just me. It's like, this is outside of Portland. Okay. But the reason why I brought that up is because I want to show you guys specifically why that is happening. Right. So it's happening very similar in other locations as well. So here is the one that's near me, the Regal Martin Village. This is in Lacey, Washington. Okay. Come over here to the 16th. All right. Come over here down to the 6th. Was that 16th, right? Yeah. Moana, Evil Dead. There we go. The Odyssey all the way down over here, by the way. Kind of crazy that they don't have it in the top. All the way down over here. Probably because it's whatever. Okay, so let's look at IMAX for... Show me the fucking showtimes. Let's see if it wants to load. Oh my God. Okay, let's see if I can pick another showtime. I don't know what's happening here. Is it having trouble just verifying? Maybe it's just having trouble verifying. Let me try another browser here. All right, let's see here. Hold on. All right, Odyssey. Let's try this here. IMAX 230. See, still doing it for some reason. I don't know what the hell's going on. Maybe I'm just looking at too many different ones, perhaps. All right, let's try just standard 2 p.m. showtimes. Okay, verify. Yeah, it's just having, for some reason, it's just doing this. I don't know what the hell's going on. I was literally just looking at it before. You know what? Here, we'll try, let's see. All right, we'll do Cinemark. Because at least this one's, all right, well, here, we'll do Rust and Point. This is the XD one. This is a nice one. This is where I go see, fucking Avatar movies and shit. And this one will, the Odyssey D-Box 2 p.m. All right, you'll see what I'm talking about here. Sold out. Okay, 2 p.m. D-Box XD sold out. The D-Box is terrible, by the way. Okay, but here, look at this here, right? Odyssey, 2:45 p.m. standard. Some D-Box, only 2 seats are sold, but again, only a handful. And this is in Tacoma, Washington, right? This is outside of Seattle. But look at this here, 3 p.m. R-rated standard format, two tickets sold. 3:45 p.m. no tickets sold, right? You've got the D-Box standard format 6:30, I'd say mostly full, so that's not terrible. But again, the D-Box, those don't sell as it is, right? Like that's one of the worst investments that Cinemark has made. Okay, but this is just here. This is what's going on. 6:45 p.m. 6:45 p.m. is the standard time. This is at a nice location too. 4 tickets sold. Right, 7 o'clock sold out. This one makes sense. This is prime time, the prime showing XD. Right, when I saw Avatar here back in December, it was sold out as well. So this one I expected to be sold out, and that's fine. But because that's also a premium large format. But again, 7:30 standard format, not a fucking ticket sold. Right, not a ticket fucking sold. Okay, 10:15 p.m. again, handful of tickets. This is what I'm talking about here. Right, this is what I'm saying. And so when you look at this kind of stuff, let's see, hold on, wait, sorry, I'm looking at something that Spherical Man sent me here. These are the theater I go to. The showings are for Thursday, all standard, no IMAX. Okay, so take a look here. This is where Spherical Man's going. Tickets are being sold. This is standard, no IMAX, no one there. Okay, then this is this one, more people are there, and this is for 6:20 p.m. So the prime time opening, okay, and this is for 9 p.m. So again, there's some, but again, look at this here, 2:50 p.m., nothing. Right, 6:20 p.m., almost sold out. So this is kind of looking at it again. So you're seeing that prime time shows, whoopsie daisy, prime time shows are getting more pickups, but in many ways, like if IMAX is an option, the other showings aren't filling up, right? Like so that's the crazy thing to me, is that underneath the other showings, if you have the ability for that, then people will go see it, whatever. Now let me take a look here at the Cinemark though that's near me, because it's this is the one I don't even know what time I work on Thursday, so I have no idea if I'd be able to go see it or not. Okay, here we go. All right, so they got it up here. This is my theater, the one I go to. All right, 2 p.m. The D-Box are sold out. See, that's to me, that's interesting, that the D-Box, our tickets are sold. But I also wonder, again, it's just because there's no premium format here at this theater, right? There's no premium format. So that might be what people are looking at there. So you got standard format and D-Box, some seats all the way through. Standard format, 2:30 p.m. Let's take a look here. It's just a small ass auditorium, not a ticket sold. Okay, right. 3 p.m. This is actually a decent sized auditorium, and only a handful of tickets sold. Okay, right. This is 3:25 p.m. Look at all them D-box seats. Not a single ticket sold. Only a handful. I mean, again, I'm showing you guys multiple examples from multiple cities in using different theater chains. And you guys aren't even looking at that. I'm so sorry. The Vista, one of your favorites, has sold out. But okay, the thing about the Vista though is the Vista's in the Village, right? It's in West LA. So like something like the Vista is always going to sell out, right? Inside a place like LA and Seattle and, you know, maybe even Portland and Miami, make major metropolitan areas that have a vibrant arts and entertainment industry, you're going to see a lot of those selling out. But at the same time, I'm showing like small town America, middle, you know, I'm not talking like LA. I'm not talking fucking New York, Chicago, right? Miami, Seattle. I'm talking like outside of Seattle. I'm talking about outside of Portland, right? Where suburbia is. And suburbia is where you find a lot of the people that go and see these fucking movies. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about here. Is that when you're looking at this kind of stuff there, if you'd see this year, barely any. I thought I had this up. I'm sorry, I did not, right? Nothing sold for the 325 show. This is on Thursday. And usually these things fill up pretty quick, depending. All right, that's what I'm talking about here. So I'm not saying people aren't going to go see the movie. Make no mistake about that. What I am saying is that outside of IMAX, LIMAX, premium large format, this movie is not going to have the business, at least on day one, right? And if on day one, and by day one is Thursday and Friday, that walk-up business, that word-of-mouth business does not increase, and I believe that it probably will to an extent, you will get headlines of like the Odyssey is bombing at the box office. You will see those headlines. You will see people talk about that. You will see those particular things happening. And the reason why is because this movie has, since its inception, since its sell to Universal to put up $250 million, was that it was going to be IMAX, an IMAX, almost exclusive, if you will. Premium large format, Dolby Atmos, all those particular, screenings. And what you've got now is you've got all the marketing saying like shot for IMAX. You've got like all the influencers, right, that were supposedly originally banned from seeing early screenings of the movie. They're out there gobbling on the knob of Nolan. And they're saying things like, you got to see this in 70 millimeter IMAX, the biggest screen possible. Nothing else will matter. Nothing else will do. Nothing else even comes close to replicating the perfection that Nolan has brought in us. Like all of that kind of salesmanship that is good in general to get people excited to go and see a movie. I'm not even really knocking the idea behind it. What I'm pointing out, though, is that there's no denying empirical evidence is showcasing that in many instances, people are not going to see this movie outside of those screens. And if there is only 400 available in the United States, less than 400, all things considered, when a movie like The Mandalorian and Grogu, or, even I'm sure the Odyssey is going to be opening up in like 4,200 to 4,400 screens. If 10% of those are IMAX, and those are the ones that are drawing in the vast majority of the fucking money, that's only going to go so far. All right. Ontario, California, Regal Edwards Palace 20 has the real Stadium IMAX. Are you talking? Well, so does the Irvine Spectrum. All right. Like, so will the Irvine Spectrum. Rational says, I kind of agree with you, Matt. I think this film will do 750 million max. I mean, that's a high end. I saw one of the Nolan fanboy accounts today say something along the lines of like, oh, I talked to someone internally and they said at Universal, they're anticipating this movie to do 1.2 billion. And I'm just like, where that people aren't showing up, man. Tickets aren't selling out. You got next week, you got fucking Spider-Man coming out, right? Like I've already got my tickets for Spider-Man. Like you got Spider-Man coming out next week. People are going to fucking fly. No, that's at the end of the month, isn't it? Or is that the 25th? Right? When does Spider-Man come out? Is that the end of the month? Or is that the 31st is when Spider-Man comes out? Anyway, like, yeah, because I think the Odyssey's got like 2 weeks. All right. So if word of mouth does not grow, and if people do not show, you will see headlines like this fucking movie is going to crash and burn. All right. Like the Odyssey sinks to the bottom of the ocean, you know, or it's going to underperform. All right. So if the movie doesn't open to like 80 million, which is a low end estimate, to what some of the numbers I've seen, like let's say this movie opens at like 60 million, which I think is a more fair number. They're going to call it a fucking underperforming disaster. Has Nolan lost his magic touch? We'll see headlines like this. Now, granted, listen, I am not saying, Donovan, because I know you're listening, I am not saying that this is a guarantee. I'm not saying that this movie's not going to make a fucking buttload of money. I'm not saying any of that. I don't know yet. I want to go see it. All right. But my point is, you can go and look up people's pre-sales. The pre-sales are available to look at. That is some public facing information. And what we're looking at is not a lot of people are buying tickets ahead of time. Why? If Nolan is the GOAT, if Nolan is the preemptive best filmmaker working today, leagues above Spielberg and Cameron and Denis Villeneuve, if I'm saying that incorrectly, I don't care anymore. Right? Like if he is just in a league of his own, he can do whatever he wants. He can do no wrong. Right? Interstellar has a fantastic third act and ending. Fuck. Tenet wasn't just a weird mess of a movie that he forced Warner Brothers to put out during a pandemic. Dunkirk wasn't just a bunch of dudes hanging out on a beach dodging fucking, Nazi fucking aircraft fire and shit. Right? Like if Nolan is as good as everyone out there is trying to make him out to be every time he puts out a fucking movie and shit, then like why the fuck aren't people lining up around the block in order to get tickets to see this fucking movie? And that becomes the fucking point. If you are looking at everything as we have been looking at it, and again, I can't go and showcase every theater, right? I don't know where you live. I don't know if it's different where you are, but I'm looking up and down parts of the West Coast, places that I've been to, places I'm familiar with. And I'm showing you the tickets ain't selling unless it's a premium large format screen, which is fine. That's what they want. They want that. Now let's also quickly talk about IMAX. IMAX needs this, by the way, guys. Oh, they need this. If you haven't been following the IMAX news, IMAX posted a rather slumpy Q1, right? Even with Avatar having come out at the tail end of last year, their Q1 reports were down like 8%. And then there was even reports being floated around that they were looking for a buyer, that they were looking for someone to come on in and pick up the IMAX brand. All of this coming after Disney basically kind of cuts ties with IMAX and wants to do like their Disney True Vision, whatever the fuck it's called, And then you got people out there now that are pushing the idea that Dolby Atmos is better than IMAX, that IMAX hasn't innovated well enough in the last 20 years to warrant not only the cost, but the popularity. And that really, you're not getting a lot out of that anymore. So Matt to buy IMAX confirmed. Yeah, because I make that kind of money with super chats, which I will get to here in a second, guys. Thank you, by the way. I'm just saying it's like there is something going on with IMAX. They had a bit of an increase last year. All right. Their numbers were up a little bit last year, but then Q1 was down. And then they're talking about potentially selling. So what does that tell you? Right? It tells you they have a good year and they're like, ooh, guys, let's fucking sell. Because you guys got to remember that when it comes to business, all of this shit, all of these companies, they only have one responsibility, and that's just to their shareholders. And that's it. That's it. There's a reason why David Zaslav is selling 59.8 million or billion, whatever it is, of shares in fucking, not billion. I don't think it's billion. I saw something. He's selling more Warner Brothers Discovery shares today as they get closer to the merger, where he's going to walk away like a multi-billionaire, like all of these things that he's doing in order to make sure that his ass stays rich while people will lose their jobs and the industry will ultimately shrink. All of these things are happening. And yet it's like people are just going like, oh no, you gotta fucking Odyssey's gonna do great. It's like, dude, there's so much more that's going on. If Matt owned IMAX, that would be an entirely better experience. There'd be no Limax. I mean, the problem with that is that it's not necessarily true. All right. Like that's not entirely true, because you'd have to have the money to then go and like turn, build up every auditorium into then being a stadium seating true IMAX experience. It's not financially viable to do it. If I owned IMAX, I'd be in the same exact situation. I would just do everything in my power to lower the cost. That's what I would do. I would do everything in my power to lower the cost. But that's it. There's not much I'd be able to do. Zapier says, if the Odyssey is popular enough, I hope other studios make other films based on myth. I'd love to see a big, sincere attempt at a Sinbad movie. I know, man. I, too, would love to see The House Guest, too. No, I agree, dude. Fucking like, like going back like old Harryhausen, right? Jason and the Argonauts and shit. Old Sword and Sandal, that kind of crap. Hell yeah, dude. Sign me up, man. Imagine an actual good remake of Clash of the Titans. I kid, because I actually have the Clash and Wrath of the Titans 4K from Arrow. I like those movies too. But the whole point, but Clash of the Titans is just classic. Who doesn't love Clash of the Titans and shit? Fucking Harry Hamlin, man. Anyway, is it Harry Hamlin in that one, or am I thinking of somebody else? Right? It's Harry Hamlin. He was Perseus, wasn't he? Clash of the Titans. Or who's the other guy? Harry something. No, it wasn't Harry Hamlin. Anyway, it doesn't even really matter. The point is that, yeah, man, I think Sword and Sandal coming back would be pretty fucking dope. I'd be down for that and shit. We are getting a new Conan movie from Christopher McQuarrie. No, sorry, but that's Sword and Sorcery. See, that's the question. Would you prefer Sword and Sandal, or would you prefer Sword and Sorcery? I lean more towards the Sword and Sorcery, as much as I like Sword and Sandal, but Sword and Sorcery is just like, that's fucking cooler. It is cooler, man. Like, look, you can sit there and show me the prestige world building of movies like Alexander and movies like Troy and movies like the Odyssey, and then you could give me a fucking copy of Red Sonja, and I'll be like, pop in Red Sonja, motherfucker. Let's go. And I will say this. Though. Okay. Well, I mentioned this on social media earlier today, right? I had this, the idea of defending the movie that's a solid 7. Okay. Like a movie, like, because we look at movies like the Odyssey, and you look at it and you're going like, this is Nolan trying to win Best Picture again. Okay. Like this is, what he's doing. Okay. Like, it, not saying it's bad, but let's be honest about what it is. And then you look at movies like fucking Idiocracy, right? And you're like, okay, fine. Not that you can really compare the two necessarily, but which movie would you say you would end up watching more often? Would you watch the Odyssey, or would you watch something like Idiocracy? They're two separate films, but you'd probably be more in line to watch something like Idiocracy because it makes you laugh, right? You love it for a lot of dumb reasons, if warts and all. It's just what it is. Right? It's not trying to be anything more than what it is. There's no pomp. There's no circumstance. There's no attempt at winning Oscar gold. It's just getting you in, getting you out, keeping you entertained, and giving you something to fucking quote at the end of the day. And that's why I would sit there and say like something like, and it's a very odd challenge to ask you, right? The Odyssey, a movie you probably haven't seen, versus a movie like Idiocracy. But again, how many times have you watched Idiocracy? How many times have you watched Spaceballs? How many times have you watched Blazing Saddles? Blazing Saddles, I would give a perfect 10 out of 10 to. I'd give a perfect 10 out of 10 to fucking Spaceballs as well. But if we're looking at them like just in regards like the objective perfect 7, those movies fall into that category, right? Like they're perfect in the way that they're made, but their lasting their lasting impact is something that you will get more out of rather than something that's like a prestige movie. You know what I mean? Like, for example, like as great of a movie as fucking Schindler's List is, and it's a great fucking movie, it's a heavy topic, right? Would you rather like watch fucking Schindler's List, or would you rather watch fucking, like Clerks? Or, both are black and white, both deal with people who don't want to, who shouldn't be there that day. Okay. Like, both deal with an oppressive fascist regime. One is corporatism and the other one is Nazis. But it's like that idea there is there, right? Like you have a movie that brings you, that is there to tell a story, that is there to evoke certain emotions, that is there to be a certain way. And then you've got a movie, with Jay and Silent Bob and shit. And I'm like, that's what I'm talking about, right? Any time of day, if you were like, you want to watch Schindler's List or fucking Clerks, I'm like, let's watch fucking Clerks. Not that Schindler's List isn't a great fucking movie, but I'm not in the mood to cry. I'm not in the mood to like sit there and watch that old, priest get shot in the fucking head and then have that overhead shot of the blood trickling out the back of his fucking skull. Like, I'm good, thanks. But that's my point, is that these perfect 7 movies exist. Okay. And those movies are the ones we largely find ourselves going back to because of the way they make us feel, because they get you in there, they get you out, they keep you entertained. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Schindler's Clerks. There we go. A classic 90s French film is La Haine is in black and white. Sure. I haven't seen that one personally. But, that's all I'm saying, though, is like these movies, like a movie like The Odyssey might be a little bit different. Some of the hot takes I've seen coming out of the reaction of it have been like that it is sword and sandal, that it is action focused and action oriented, and that it is, but it's like, is it Troy? Is it Gladiator? Not Gladiator 2, but is it Gladiator? You know what I mean? And like, so you get all that kind of stuff with that, right? But that's kind of why I'll always defend like the 7, like if you're like, what do you want to watch? Do you want to watch, fucking My Left Foot or fucking Under Siege? Like Under Siege didn't win no awards, but fucking My Left Foot did, right? Daniel Day-Lewis won Best Actor for fucking My Left Foot and shit. I don't want to watch that movie ever the fuck again. I have no desire to watch that movie ever the fuck again because I was dragged to that movie instead of going to see Spaced Invaders for the 4th fucking time. Thanks, Aunt Deb. She died of a pill overdose 20 years ago. Ha! No, it's actually really sad that she did. Actually, she did die of a pill overdose. My uncle had terminal cancer and she passed away from a pill overdose. And then he passed away from cancer like a month later. It was sad. Anyway, my whole point is my Aunt Debbie, before she died of a pill overdose, drugged me and my cousin to go see My Left Foot for culture rather than 8-year-old kids wanting to go see Space Invaders. I'm not saying My Left Foot's not a good movie. I'm saying I would rather go see Space Invaders. Don't fuck with me on this one, man. That birth cake scene in Under Siege, that actually got a teacher in Portland fired back in late in the 90s. Because he showed Under Siege to a bunch of, I think, high school sophomores. And the word got out and he got in trouble for that one, right? Yeah, I ripped my aunt and uncle. Yeah. No, I miss them. They were my stepdad's brother and sister-in-law. And, like they were nice to me, being like kind of like the new kid in the family and whatnot, but we never really had that close of a relationship. My uncle, though, he had up all the nudie pictures in the barn, the full, like the centerfolds. Right. In his workshop, he had those in there. So when we were like 9, we were like going in the barn to get something. And there's just like a plethora of fucking like nude women. I was exposed to pornography at a young age. If you're wondering why I'm as fucked up as I am. That being said, I now know why I have a fetish for Bush, but that's not the point. Your aunt drugged you? No, she never. What are you talking about? Shut the fuck up, Mo. Let's see. Spielberg had Robin Williams tell him jokes over the phone due to how heavy Schindler's List was. Yeah, I've heard that story. That's fucking crazy. Yeah, I've heard that story, man. And it makes sense. Sometimes you go to those dark places, and good on Spielberg for doing it. It's a good movie, man. All right. Let's see here. Eric asking, would American audiences enjoy Sword and Sandals of Arabian Nights? That'd be fucking nice if we got that shit. I'll tell you this though, guys. I've said this before, and I say this again. Like, I think when we're going to see a lot of that shit is going to be like AI, and I talk a lot about AI here, and I realize kind of why I talk about AI here a lot, because like I can't show you guys clips from movies without getting copyright struck. We can't really watch too many trailers without the fear of the stream itself getting shut down. But I can show you guys like all the AI content that's coming out. That's good shit. That's interesting shit. And it's not like being gatekept behind fucking, a draconian and archaic copyright laws. AI is the future of fan fiction. AI is the future of filmmaking, but yeah, also fan fiction. Yeah. Schindler's List is good. Your one friend got mad. I liked it. Which one friend got mad? You like Schindler's List? I don't know. Is it your one friend? I don't know. Who gets mad at liking Schindler's List? If you were like, you know what, like if you were like, man, you know what I'd like to jack off to is that Schindler's Fist movie, and you said it the wrong way, then I'd be like, well, you jack off to Schindler's List? Oh yeah, dude, Schindler's Fist. I jack off to that all the time. You know, I mean, there's that scene with the fisting that is just fucking excellent in so many ways. He came on drunk. I don't remember. Was it like there's been some, was it when I was doing call-in shows? I do miss a call-in show, by the way. Would I watch an F-Zero film in the vein of Top Gun F1? Sure, man. Give me Captain Falcon. They're going to have to lead into fucking Smash Bros. Oh, you're any punk shark guy? Wait, James? I don't think James is drunk. He sounds drunk because he's Canadian. Have I seen the disturbing video of Schindler's List with laugh tracks? No, that's horrible. It's like, have you ever seen the sped up 9/11 footage, but to yakety sax? It's fucking hysterical. It's terrible. It's terrible. But you're watching like the plane, like speed run into the towers, and then it starts to collapse, and everything is sped up, and then everybody is running, and then you just hear like dun 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 dun. Right? It's fucking hysterically and terribly funny. There's a bunch of them laugh tracks to series films. That's why I love the internet, you guys. Fourth asking, have I ever asked the AI to remake a trailer, maybe with a different character so you can show a trailer? No, because that's like going to cost tokens and shit. Right now, it costs a lot of money to do the AI video, even to do the other shit. It's crazy. Okay, hold on here. We got some soups. Sokatano for $2 says, rip Sam Neill. Yeah, man, that sucked. I was at work last night when I got the notifications that Sam Neill had passed away at the age of 78 when he had just beat blood cancer a couple months ago and said that he was looking forward to getting back into making movies. And he finally, he beat it and then died. And it's sad, man. It's real sad. I was going to watch Event Horizon today. I might still go watch Event Horizon after I stream. But kids are out of school and my schedule is so fucked. So I was with them all day and everything else. And I couldn't really be like, hey kids, you're 6, you're 8 years old. You guys want to watch a movie called Event Horizon to honor the life and work of a man named fucking Sam Neill? My daughter's going to be like, who is that? I'm like, oh, remember we saw him in Jurassic Park, but you got scared at the raptor scene in the fucking kitchen. So we didn't finish the movie because you were afraid of the raptors in the kitchen. So I got this other movie called Event Horizon where these guys basically like encounter, I don't know, demons and shit. It's not bad at all. You might really enjoy it. No, I can't show her that. Although she's like, I'm 8 years old, Dad. I'm going on 9 years old, Dad. You know how it is. I'm going to fucking scare the shit out of her one of these days. I'll be like, fine. You think you're an adult? Let's sit down and watch an adult movie. Not that kind of adult movie. I'm thinking something like The Exorcist, which, truth be told, I've never seen that movie myself, so it may not actually be scary to an 8-year-old. I don't know if it would be. Kids these days, man, I'll show her fucking Backrooms. I'll show her the liminal space. She's kind of in that generation on the younger side of it. But rip Sam Neill, dude. Absolutely rip Sam Neill. It is tragic. Absolutely fucking tragic that he passed away. He was everyone has said very good things about him, and everyone has really come out and talking about, for one, I mean, we got to fuck cancer. I don't even know if cancer what killed him, but fuck cancer basically is more or less the idea there. So yeah, that's unfortunate that he passed away. And then I saw video footage. I saw photographs yesterday of an 83-year-old Harrison Ford, like in an Andre the Giant onesie, like riding his bike, and I'm like, hey, he likes to ride his bike. That's how he stays fucking healthy and fit. All right. Indiana Jones should do a geriatric fucking workout routine where he's just like, Spin cycle in glory, kid. sort of shit. Let's go. Zap here also. Damn shame. Rip Sam Neill. Absolutely. Thank you for that. Rational here for Fiverr. Thank you, buddy. He says, can't believe Doomsday tickets go on sale next week. And do you actually think Adam Driver and Patrick Wilson will play Magneto and Professor X? I don't know, man. I think Andrew Driver as Magneto is interesting. I think Giancarlo Esposito was talking about wanting to play him or something. And I think if they were going to lean into that idea of MLK and Malcolm X, Giancarlo would have been a good choice. But then again, like he just would have been like Gus Fring or, the guy, whatever his character name was from The Mandalorian and shit. And that ain't something I'm even against, man. I fucking love Giancarlo Esposito. I named my cat Gus after Gus Fring. And so it's like, that'd be pretty cool. But Adam Driver can play that intense role, right? He can play that intense role of a broken but petulant child. And not to say that that's how he would play Magneto, not even to say that's how Magneto is characterized, because he is not. But I can't help but think like he would do something like that, And then I think back, just oddly enough, I think back to that moment at the tail end of The Rise of Skywalker when the Knights of Ren are surrounding Kylo Ren, and he, using the Force doppelganger, or sorry, the Force projection ability that the dyad had between Rey and Kylo, and he reaches his hand behind his back and he produces the blue lightsaber, and then he looks at all those guys that he was buds with, that he trained and shit, and he does the Han Solo shrug from Return of the Jedi and then proceeds to fuck them up. And I'm like, give me a Ben Solo movie, motherfucker. That's something I'd actually kind of like to see, even though that in my mind would be considered like completely non-canonical. My point here is that Adam Driver is a good actor who can bring about a fair amount of intensity and hatred into a role, which is something you would need to sell the concept of Magneto and his utter hatred and despising of mankind, to convey, by and large, what, like the character of Magneto and the Brotherhood of Mutants is all about. But I don't know if Adam Driver is the right guy. Patrick Wilson, I do like him. He's got a calming kind of vibe to him and shit, He was cool as Orm in at least the first fucking Aquaman. And I've always, and he was good as in Watchmen and shit, but that was more of a Batman type character. Here he would just be in a wheelchair and just be, I don't quite know. I don't know. Can he do British? Well, I mean, Patrick Stewart did British, but Charles Xavier is not British and shit. At least I don't think he is. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like we're going to find out more at Comic-Con next week. And I think that's going to be interesting to see. Thank you, though. Ahsoka here for 5. Thank you, buddy. He says, do you think Warner Brothers will announce the Snyderverse is coming back to the DC panel at SDCC? No, for a couple reasons. One, there is no DC panel. You have a panel for Lanterns. And I don't know if James Gunn's going to be there for that. You got Kyle Chandler, Aaron Pierre are going to be there. I'm assuming they're going to show everybody the first episode of the show, which at that point we're going to get that confirmation if that rumor, that leak is true. I'm kind of curious about that one. And then what we're also looking at, is I don't think we're going to get anything out of anything involving Warner Brothers. And also Ellison and Paramount, they don't have any control over DC right now. So there'd be no reason to announce the Snyderverse coming back, because at the same time, I don't think it's ever coming back. I don't see it happening. Again, it's been years upon years upon years. Everybody has by and large moved on. The only way it could come back would be through animated form, as I have said repeatedly, which would probably be the way. And that would be something that would be, I think, applicable and good in my opinion. But a lot of people are going to disagree because they want there to be, this fucking, multi-$100 million epic starring Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck and Gal Gadot and everything else. Like, hey man, they fucking released BVS 10 goddamn years ago. They shot Justice League 9 goddamn years ago. All right. They were shooting Justice League in 2016. So they were filming this movie a goddamn decade ago. Everybody has moved the fuck on. It's time to let it go. It's not coming back. All right. It's just not coming back. And so, it's just, you got to let it go, man. I'm sorry. Like, I'd love to see it, but it's just not going to happen. But we have 3 excellent movies to watch and a bunch of great side films to watch as well, right? You won't be able to convince me that Wonder Woman, the first movie, wasn't good. The first Aquaman was really good. Those movies are fun. I love The Flash. I love the Shazam movies. I liked Blue Beetle quite a bit. I thought those movies were entertaining. They weren't like the grandiose nature of the epic, mythology of DC's Trinity that Zack Snyder put together, but they were still fun. They were entertaining. And I think that those are okay. Thank you for that. Also, Ahsoka here says, no spoilers, but I'm surprised by the twist in the Backroom movie. I only have 29 minutes left. I'm loving it. That twist is interesting, and I really enjoy what comes after it. And then when you get to the end, kind of let me know, because I think the ending, I have thoughts, but we'll talk more about that later. Thank you, though. This is for 5, says Wang Chung Ho from Daredevil TV show sadly also passed away. That's right. Madame Gao passed away, I believe, from a stroke is what I thought I read. But yeah, Madame Gao was 83 years old, I believe, and unfortunately she has passed away. H-Bart's here for 5, thank you. Says, if Marvel has big announcement, they're going to make DC look bad. I agree. If they have a big... Well, here's the thing. Kevin Feige, as I've said before, he goes to Comic-Con. This motherfucker plays for keeps. Plays for fucking keeps. There's no denying it. There's no trying to run from it. Kevin Feige knows how to whip his dick out, thwap it on the fucking SDCC table, and just be like, marvel at it, bitches. Marvel at it. Look at it, ingest it visually, and when the time comes, I shall feed you all from the tip of my dick. All right. Like, you will get the nourishment of my seed in your mouth. Like, he'll be able to do that because he's earned the fucking ability to do that shit. But the thing is like, he's going to go there. Now, look, they were there in 2019. They made that announcement over Blade. They haven't done shit with Blade yet. So he might be playing a couple things close to his chest. But at the same time, you can't go to Hall H a week before Spider-Man, a few months before fucking Doomsday, and not have something to show. Not have something big to show. Now, it's possible they might bring out, Charlie Cox. They might bring out Vincent D'Onofrio, whatever, man. D'Onofrio, whatever. Maybe John Bernthal, right? Will come on out, talk more about Punisher, One Last Kill, and how big that was on Disney Plus, and like they're doing another one, or they're doing a spin-off show or whatever, right? We might get more about the Disney Plus side of things for right now. I don't know. They announced that there's a Nova movie that's being written by the guy who created Loki. So, and the guy who also wrote Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. So we'll have to wait to see how that thing goes out. There's a lot going on. Marvel has a lot to talk about. DC's got, I don't know, they got shit to talk about, but but James Gunn's like, I can just put this out in an Instagram post and get as much coverage on the web and shit. And I'm going like, yeah, but motherfucker, like, people fucking get excited. They talk about this shit excitedly. There's the fucking difference, man. They talk about this shit excitedly online, especially at Comic-Con. There's a buildup to it. It's a pretty big fucking buildup, and it seems to be somewhat problematic that James Gunn is just really running from all of that. And I get it. I do get it, right? I understand. He's trying to really downplay everything that happened with Supergirl. Okay. Like, that's the thing we have to remember here is that, it's a big fucking thing, guys. It's a big fucking thing. Anyway, also H-Bars for 5, thank you, says the only way Snyderverse returns is if the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia is a massive Snyder nerd. I mean, listen, man, Mohammed bin Salman, he could be into that shit. I got no fucking idea, right? It's entirely possible that Jamal Khashoggi was not a Zack Snyder fan, and that's why Mohammed bin Salman had him dismembered at the Saudi Arabian embassy in Turkey, right? Like, I mean, I think it was Istanbul, right? I'm just saying, we don't know specifically why Jamal Khashoggi was murdered by the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia. And then dismembered and then removed piece by piece by piece by piece. This is true, by the way, that he was murdered and then he was dismembered. We don't know how and why that happened. It could be because Jamal Khashoggi was a big critic of Mohammed bin Salman. It could be also that he gave fucking the Snyder Cut you know, like, I don't know, maybe like 2 stars on Letterboxd. We got no way of knowing what happened with that one. It sucks. Really, really, really sucks. Otis here for 2 says Cavill is the new Seagal or Seagal, Steven Seagal, straight to streaming star. But that's not just him. All right. And that's not his fault, by the way. Okay. Like, and I'm going to disagree because look, In the Gray might have came and went, but they shot that movie like right after the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. Like they shot that movie like 3-4 years ago and it sat and then it finally came out, you know, and that was the Lionsgate put that out. There wasn't a lot behind it. There wasn't any promotion behind it. There wasn't any kind of marketing behind it. The movie came and the movie went. All right. But like even right now, I was looking at fucking Movie Web or some shit. And the first article that I saw pop up was like Henry Cavill's 98-minute action thriller currently dominating streaming, which I need to talk with you guys about the fucking the titles these websites are using now. These article headlines are fucking atrocious and I don't know how to stop it. But anyway, it's because it's all designed to be clickbait. It's all designed to be whatever and shit. And so Cavill, yeah, he's got Voltron. We don't know how big into Voltron he is, right? Even a movie like Argyle. Argyle came to theaters. Henry Cavill was all over the marketing, but Henry Cavill was not the star of Argyle. He was a supporting player in that movie. Bryce Dallas Howard and Sam Rockwell, those were your leads. But Henry Cavill gets all the blame for that, you know? And then you've also got Chad Stileski is shooting fucking, Highlander right now. And hey, who's playing fucking Connor McLeod? Oh shit, it's fucking, it's Henry Cavill, man. And the Kurgan is Dave Bautista, which is going to be interesting. I don't know if they're the same character names or not, but either way, man, fuck yeah. We're getting a lot of that shit. So that's going to put Henry Cavill back on the fucking charts because that's a Lionsgate release. And Lionsgate just hit $1 billion with the fucking Michael biopic, that making that the highest grossing biopic ever released, as well as Lionsgate's only $1 billion film. So there's a lot going on with that shit right now, guys. There's a lot going on. We have to remember. Khashoggi stood outside of Snyder's production company in a black Superman costume with a lame sign. Technically, it wasn't. It was the registered agent for the LLC. It was a lawyer's office. It was not the production company, but that is true. That happened. Let's see if Highlander becomes successful, then Voltron will get a theatrical release. I don't know if necessarily that's true. Highlander is through Lionsgate. Voltron is being done through Amazon. Masters of the Universe doing what it did, I should say, or what it didn't do, despite the people enjoying Masters of the Universe quite a bit, is one that, it's kind of a litmus test. Like I said, I saw Masters of the Universe. I already went out, pre-ordered my fucking copy of it. I can't wait to get my hands on that motherfucker. It's a great film. It's an unabashedly great film. And but I see your point. I see your point, Renee. I get you. But the thing is, though, it's just different companies and shit. And it all depends on when things are coming out. I don't know when anything is coming out. So there's that. Has Ski Walker been up to anything lately? I have no idea what they've been up to. I am sure they have been trying to find a way to spin the Snyderverse return by having, the, what's it called? The Paramount merger, right? Like going like, nah, they're probably going like David Ellison. He likes Snyder, man. Right. Like, and they're going to try to find anything they can to put it back together. I haven't taken a look at them in a long time. Let me see. All right. Ski Walker. The Jedi. All right. Hold on. Okay. Ski Walker Ent. Let's take a look here at his what is he up to? Ski Walker Ent. 3,300 subscribers, 840 videos. Streamed 2 hours ago. Blocked Paramount Warner Brothers merger in jeopardy. Not blocked current lawsuit against it. Here we go. 4 days ago, derangement. Influencers are attacking Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey for the dumbest reasons. Reckoning Part 2, James Gunn finally blamed for DCU failure. Right? Why the world wants Zack Snyder back. Let's just take a look here at this recent one. By the way, he's using, oh god, dude, it's been 3 years. in a month and a half since fucking Mikey Sutton died. Right? A month and a half has been 3 years, and they're still rocking this thing. Jesus Christ. Terrible. Okay. Let's just.
I catch y'all with another one.
Is he still?
Y'all can be anywhere else in the world right now, but you're here rocking out with me.
I mean, he's still rocking the same shitty webcam. I mean, I'm not even on camera. I can't even knock that, you know. And I gotta say, I like the background.
And I appreciate it.
I will say he's got a good vibe going on. Better than me. Mine is just, I'm just kind of lazy, you know. Skid marker is at the La Quinta Inn. If you know, you know. That's right. You ain't lying. He did just do a stream. I mean, yeah, he did. It just ended a couple minutes ago. Amazon is releasing the Highlander reboot. I thought that was Lionsgate. Are you sure about that? Yeah, no. We're gonna. I'll talk about the Paramount Primal. Anyway, what is the context behind the La Quinta Inn joke? It was So okay, this was a while ago, man. They were doing a one of their big sell the Snyderverse online hashtag moments, I guess, right? And so like Ski Walker, you know, like to celebrate the day of release, right? All of that shit, the big day. He went and got a room at the La Quinta Inn, somewhere in Los Angeles. I'm assuming near the Inglewood area, which is about where he's at. And you know, he's out there in the hot tub of the La Quinta Inn, like live streaming and shit. And like he made a joke, you know, they say stuff like, if you know, you know, whatever. And we were kind of laughing about that when it happened, because it was just like, you know, he's all like going to a La Quinta Inn to, you know, to get to just kind of hang out and watch the, you know, the sell the Snyderverse to Netflix hashtag movement, whatever the hashtag was, kind of do its thing. And it's like this, he tries to make it this bigger deal, right? He tries to make it this bigger deal. He tries to do all this shit. And it's funny because you're just laughing at him because it's all like sitting in the hot tub of this fucking La Quinta Inn in California going like, if you know, you know, sort of thing. So we kind of turned it into a bit of an inside joke, and that's really about it. I don't really want to watch anything. What's he doing? Is he just reading Hollywood Reporter? All right. You know, does he bring up anyone interesting? You know, are they talking about stuff going on with all? Anyway, yeah, he's got. I saw a guy. What was it? I saw Mr. Wes Ashley had put up a video the other day. I want to see if I can find the retweet of it or something. I saw somebody, you know, retweeting it, and I'm trying to remember if this was if it was what I saw or not. I gotta remember that. Otherwise, it's kind of like, it's pretty funny. I never watched the clip personally, but this from a couple days ago, June 30th. No, it wasn't him. Shoot balls. Hold on, let me see if I can quickly look it up. All right. Okay, Mr. West Ashley. Is it Mr. Is it? Yeah, okay, hold up. He's got me blocked. But I think this is the dude. All right, he must have done a video on it the other day. All right. This isn't it though. This is it. Let's see. It's all on us. Bring Zach back. This is from July 11th and shit. Let's just see what he has to say.
Yo, real quick video. So let's talk about how we got here, how we got to this point in the, you know, Supergirl failing, blah, blah, blah. DC floundering, blah, blah, blah. So we had the best of everything. We had better than MCU. We had Zack Snyder. We had the fastest franchise to 5 billion. We had the best Batman ever. We had the best Batman scene ever, the best Superman movie ever, the best Wonder Woman ever. A-list celebrities all over it. Brilliant score, the best fan base ever. We had all of this shit. But how did we lose all of that shit for where we are today? Now there was a big campaign, and you can see this campaign is still going because if, like, I made a video the other day that said bring back Zack Snyder, and the video, the piranha, the MCU fan piranha just jump in it. They love anything about Zack Snyder. They love to jump in and talk shit, which show that little campaign, that smear campaign is still going. But why is the smear? Why if we had all this greatness, why not let the greatness continue? Why are you scared to have Zack Snyder? If you just had Supergirl written by a writer who never did anything, why not give $300 million to Zack Snyder and let him please the fans and make great content? Why? Because Zack Snyder's biggest competitor is Disney. All of these people, the CBM YouTube people, that Nerdrotic and all of these guys that act like, oh, they're shitting on James Gunn every day, but then they'll shit on Zack Snyder too. Oh, I fuck this Supergirl movie, but no,
you're right.
I can't have Zack Snyder come back. Blah, 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 blah. They always say their little sneak disses like that. But why? Why? Because you're all MCU fans. This is what you wanted. You wanted MCU to control the MCU at Disney and Marvel, and you wanted them to control DC and Warner Brothers. And y'all had it, but y'all lost it because we don't give a fuck and we're not going to support that bullshit. But DC fans, Zack Snyder fans, we're the only ones that can hold it down. We're the only ones that's going to tell the true story. We're the only ones that's going to tell the truth. So while we're floundering, we should all get together and make sure Zack Snyder's name is always trending. And I'm talking about trending a lot, like million trending. That's how we can do it. That's how we did it before. Because nobody else is coming to help us. Nobody else is coming to help us. It's on us. And we can do it because we're the coolest fan base ever.
Okay. Honestly, that's one of those more salient points. Like, there was no conspiracy on that one. All right. Like, because this guy, dude, he loves conspiracies and shit. Like, this guy said, this might be the one we're talking about here. Here we go. This is it.
Yo. Short little video. This one's cool. You know what's funny, though? Watching, like, James Gunn bomb. I mean, that's not the funny part, but that is funny. Watching Supergirl bomb. Hilarious. But, you know, in all CBM, like Twitter, CBM movie news and stuff like that, they're all talking like, oh, what will DC do next? What will DC do next? I don't know. DC needs to just stop making continued universes, blah, 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 blah. Bitch, shut up. The only thing to do is rehire Zack Snyder. That's it. This whole little James Gunn compilation, this whole little James Gunn thing was a long time in the process. It was a long time process, a long time in the making about DC, Warner Brothers, trying to be like Marvel. Now, y'all did all of this shit. You stopped Zack Snyder. You did all of this reset, reboot bullshit, and you found out that's not what your fans wanted. That's never what your fans wanted. So the hard part isn't, there's nothing hard about this. Zack Snyder fans, DC fans are Zack Snyder fans. Zack Snyder fans have told you every which way possible what they want, what you should do. This last thing of bombing Supergirl, that's just another part of them saying, no, we don't want this, we want that. Has nothing to do with sexist, misogynist, blah, 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 all that bullshit. They just want Zack Snyder. That's it. It's simple. You don't know how to read the room. You were in a beef, Marvel versus DC. You brought Marvel people over to DC, and you wonder why DC people don't like it. They're not going to fuck with that shit. They're beefing with those other guys. You know? You can't read the room. Bring back Zack Snyder is the only answer.
Okay, so, I mean, I get what he's saying, and I agree with a bit of it there. I will say, you know, interesting point being made about, like, bringing over the Marvel fans over to DC and that kind of pissing off DC fans. Because I think that's kind of accurate, right? But it's also like, which DC fans is it pissing off? Is it pissing off the Zack Snyder fans? Because, you know, again, you can look at the track record, financially speaking, and go, all right, Man of Steel made more money than Superman, but it didn't make more money domestically. It did make more money internationally. It did sell well on home video, better than Superman 2025 did. BVS could have been $1 billion movie had that 30 minutes not been chopped up. So, you know, I mean, and again, it was like, but it had a massive drop off because the movie was poorly handled by the studio, demanding that 30 minutes removed. And as a result of that, people didn't get the story Zack Snyder wanted to tell. And even then, I think that 3-hour ultimate cut was probably truncated. There might be a 4-hour cut out there that Zack has sitting on some hard drive, just kind of waiting. You know what I mean? Like waiting for Paramount to take over and then going into David Ellison and being like, so bro, check this out. Right. And it's like, check it out. Yo, we've got the fucking Ayer cut of the Suicide Squad. We got the fucking Schumacher cut. We got the fucking extended Zack Snyder cut of BVS and shit, right? Like they could do a lot with this kind of crap, you know, and like get the fans in and get them excited again. But the biggest problem that DC has had, and I've talked about this for fucking years, is that they keep rebooting. They never had a plan from the get-go. They kept fucking rebooting. Man of Steel should have probably happened in the same universe as Christian Bale's Batman. Probably. You know, Metahuman should have probably happened in that same place. All right. So it's like, that's kind of what's going on. Here's the thing, Tony, dude, Wes Ashley ain't a fucking sane or logical individual. He has moments of clarity here. But that's really not going to last and shit. And so again, like, you know, looking at the fallout of Supergirl, it's not even a bad movie, you guys. It's really not. It's not like the greatest film ever, but it ain't that terrible. Not like, you know, but James Gunn's got to own that shit. And, you know, I was talking about this earlier with someone, and we're talking about how, you know, Creature Commandos maybe wasn't the best way to launch the DCU. And I'm like, well, Creature Commandos was something that was in development before they took over. You know, before they took over the DCU, he was working on Creature Commandos coming in post Peacemaker. Peacemaker season 2 was being worked on again post before the fucking merger, or before he was named the head of it. So that was still tied into the old DCU. And those were then brought over and then, you know, kind of retrofitted into fitting into this new DCU model, of which they do not fit in to this DCU model at all. I mean, Clayface comes out in a couple months, and apparently we're going to see Clayface take on the same look that he had in Creature Commandos, which apparently takes place like before or after. I'm not even too sure where exactly in the fucking timeline the Creature Commando show takes place, because now James Gunn's got to find a way to bring in a live action Clayface that's somehow going to tie into the same characterization we saw, not the same voice, mind you, but the same characterization that we saw in the Creature Commando show that came out, you know, a year and a half ago. And of course, are we going to see more of him in Creature Commando season 2? I would also like to point out, and I have mentioned this before, so this is just kind of a recap, that Peacemaker himself in Peacemaker season 2 was a rapist. He was absolutely a rapist for the same reason, in many ways, that, you know, Wonder Woman was a rapist in Wonder Woman 1984. So there's a serious issue about consent and sexual assault that happens inside of not only the DCEU, but the DCU, so DC characters at large. And that is something that needs to also be contended with, because it is rather ridiculous. And the fact that no one called out James Gunn for turning Peacemaker into someone who commits sexual assault by lack of omission of who won, and by fooling a lady into believing that he is somebody else. Even if it is a doppelganger of his, it is still fooling her into believing that he is somebody else. That particular sexual encounter was something that could be deemed as inappropriate. It could be deemed as explicit, as well as illegal. So my Batman assaults and kills. There we go. Let's see here. Fourth says there were deleted scenes from BVS that were described not put in the Ultimate Edition. Superman is trying to hear his mother's heartbeat from the sky, but there's too much misery and noise to sort through. That would have been dark. That would have been cool. That would have been lit. I'd be down for that one there. Music Man says Man of Steel should have had a sequel for Batman v Superman. I completely agree. We got Ahsoka here for 5. Thank you, buddy. Says, give the full DC keys to Matt Reeves. I prefer him to Snyder and Gunn. That is something that I could see happening. Again, I have my hyperbolic nature. No. We've had this conversation before. Did Peacemaker present himself as basically Dimension X Peacemaker? After he killed himself, did he not assume that identity and present that characterization of that version of him to Harcourt in order to get her to fall in love with the character that she did love, right? But that was not him. The version of Chris that he killed was a far worse version of Chris than him, but he still killed him and then pretended to be him and then presented himself as being the Chris that he killed in order to then get Harcourt to fall for him. And they did engage in having sex. That is non-consensual. She was not given the choice to be able to make that call herself. She was lied to. She was deceived. There were duplicitous actions that were taken. Even though ultimately his characterization was better than the doppelganger that he killed, that is irrelevant in a court of law. Right? You lost the Wonder Woman 84 fight with Matt, so I ain't touching this. Goddamn right. Otis says here, Clayface will bridge the gap between Superman and Creature Commandos. Maybe it will. Maybe we'll get the Batman cameo in Clayface, which we should. They should give us something, but they may not. Who knows? It's very odd how they're how they're talking about this kind of stuff. It's crazy. Anyway. I don't care. He saved her. He lied. He saved her life. She was dropping draws. I mean, yeah, I understand why it happened. It doesn't make it right though. Hold on, wait. If there was a clone of a doppelganger of my wife, would you sleep with her? If my wife was alive and I was unaware that this clone doppelganger was her, that would still be considered cheating. Because at that, even though that clone doppelganger might have believed that they were my partner, they have two different experiences from the moment of conception, or the moment of birth, I should say. And so at that point, it's not the same person. So no, it would not be. I have a girlfriend. I don't have a wife, but we've been together 17 and a half years. So, it is what it is. All right. What else I want? Oh yeah. That was the thing. So I had this in the I guess you could say the lead. We've got ourselves an interesting situation happening over there with the Freddy Krueger Nightmare on Elm Street situation. I'm trying to find the thing here. Okay, we're gonna look this up. All right, on Hollywood Reporter. So, new Nightmare on Elm Street movie is in the works from Paramount, not Warner Brothers, not New Line, not the house that Freddy built, but Paramount. The studio has inked a deal with the estate of Wes Craven to revive the Freddy Krueger horror franchise and will release it via its newly launched Paramount Primal label, which is a very terrible name. It's a terrible name. It's not a good name. Everyone's telling me I'm getting phone calls all the time. It's a terrible name. Paramount Primal. It sounds like something you would find on Brazzers.com. Primal Fetish. Not that I would know what it is. Something about young, nubile men sleeping with their mothers or stepmothers, mostly stepmothers, in order to avoid the incest accusations. But it is very incestuous. I can't say that I dislike it. One of them reminded me of my mother, and I had a very interesting job. So, yeah, Freddy's back. Welcome to Primetime, bitch, basically. So what we're, in this story here, more or less, I'm just going to summarize it because there's a lot of little fucking, jargon in this bullshit. So, the estate of the Wes Craven estate. So basically his wife and his widow and his son, they were able to, after 35 years, reacquire the rights back to the original A Nightmare on Elm Street script that Wes Craven wrote and filmed for the 1984 film A Nightmare on Elm Street. And that is what they got. Then they inked a deal with Paramount to create this new label, and Paramount Primal is going to be that, and they're going to start building off of that particular story. Now, people, I saw, Fourth say earlier, don't do a remake of the original, go back and, do Dream Warriors or something like that. They can't because this is only the script for A Nightmare on Elm Street. This is not anything that has come after it that was produced through New Line. That is all owned whole cloth by New Line. And in this particular case, they only have rights to the U.S. distribution of the film. New Line has the rights for international distribution. Okay. So in this case, anything they release, anything that they decide to do that they want international releases of, they're going to have to go through New Line and give Warner Brothers a cut of that cheddar in order to get them on board to go ahead and make this particular movie hit theaters. So that is an interesting uphill battle that they're going to have, because New Line could just go, nah, we good, fam. We're just going to go do our other own Nightmare on Elm Street movie or whatever, whatever. And I don't even know if they can even do that. They might, they own those movies. They own the distribution rights for those movies, but they may not have the rights to go off and make a new movie. I don't know how the rights work out on that one right now. If anybody wants to tell me, I am absolutely all ears. But it seems to me that might actually be the case, where it's like, Wes Craven having died, and everything else, and the family wants to get in on the action on that one. They want to get that money. They want to get that cheddar. They want to get that protection, right? They want to get all that stuff. They want to have their rights and all that shit. They want to make money off of Wes. And a lot of people, it makes sense, right? It's like, it just makes sense. So now the thing with this one that's interesting is, in the original script, the sweater that Freddy wore was red and yellow, not red and green. So whatever they do is going to be like the whole situation involving the ruby slippers for Wizard of Oz. That was an MGM creation. So that's not part of the L. Frank Baum books. So they can't include those in any of the adaptations of the Wizard of Oz. You cannot have the ruby red slippers, because those are intellectual property of, I think now Warner Brothers has the rights, but initially it was MGM. And so, you can adapt all the Wizard of Oz books as much as you want, but you can't use that. So this is going to be one of those situations where Freddy is going to look different. Freddy is going to absolutely look different. And so I don't know necessarily what's going to happen with this, but one of the things I'm wondering and I'm pondering here is, are they going to keep Freddy Krueger a burned, disfigured pedophile that parents killed? Right? Is Freddy Krueger going to be getting revenge on the families that murdered him after he molested children? I don't know what's going to happen with that one. Are they going to sit there and turn him into a warrior against oppression? Right? Like, are they going to sit there? Are they going to make Freddy Krueger, let's say, black, and make him, what if they were to take the concept of Candyman and then apply Freddy Krueger to that, where it's a former slave who was brutally killed by the masters, and then he gets revenge on their kin a couple hundred years later, right? And that's what it is. He gets reawoken and gets revenge on them. Like, could they go and make Freddy Krueger woke? That becomes an honest question, because I don't know what they plan on doing with this, right? Horror now is different than it was 40 years ago. Horror now is liminal horror, right? Look at Obsession. Obsession made as much money as it did off of a very small budget in many ways, because of the type of story that it was telling, right? The type of horror it was leaning into. Backrooms is very liminal space. Very much about being kind of sucked into the system and recreated in this back area and whatnot. There's a lot going on there. We don't know what they want to do with this, but what they're going to do is they're going to look back at the 42 years now of fucking Nightmare on Elm Street. They're going to look at the popularity of Freddy Krueger. They're going to look at all of those fucking things. And then what they're going to say is they're going to go, okay, shit. How do we turn this into something that does well for us, right? How do we turn this into something that's going to have something to say, that's going to get conversations started, that's going to get people to come back and have Paramount now be the house that Freddy rebuilt? you know? And so the only way they're going to be able to do that predominantly is going to be having something intrinsic to say that will attract the Gen Z or younger viewers. And I do believe like that is a reality. A24 Kruger, I do think that's something that could possibly happen. What if Freddy comes across a juke joint owned by some twin black brothers? Not the same company. Not the same company. That would be interesting. Elevated horror Freddy is something that I'm absolutely I would absolutely be worried about, right? Woke Freddy. You know what they say, get woke, go broke, shatters every bone in kid's body. Yeah, I think that's going to happen. I do think that joke would be made. And I say that because going back to Freddy versus Jason, when Freddy runs across Kelly Rowland's character and he sees her and he kind of licks his lips and he goes, ooh, dark meat. You know what I mean? Like, oh, wow. Ooh, God. Ooh, geez. Oh, God. Oh, wow. Okay there. Okay there. Okay there, buddy. You fucking did it there, buddy. You did it, buddy. Okay, buddy. You got it, buddy. You know, you made your comment there. It's been it's been 23 years since Freddy versus Jason. Can you still make those kind of comments? I don't know if you can. I don't know if you're going to be able to. Right? Or how sweet dark meat. Thank you very much. But he still says it. He still says it. Don't get me wrong. Kelly Rowland was fine as fuck in that movie, right? Monica Keena is definitely the lead. But let's see. Do I want to see a new story or Freddy chasing Nancy again? New story. Mo here says, give me a Freddy movie that hunts down the Epstein class. Oh, you mean like what if they did like they took this next Nightmare on Elm Street and they kind of treated it like Megan 2.0, where it just kind of leans into this weird gonzo 80s action movie vibe? Fuck it, I'd be down. I'd be absolutely down. Okay, so I need to go and use the restroom. And so what we're gonna do is we're going to take a look at an AI thing that I came across. This is interesting. This is Minecraft if it was real. And the first night, it's kind of crazy. It's called Craft. It's weird. I kind of dig it. I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, I'm back. Chuck Boris. That's good. I like that. Honestly, this is better than the Minecraft movie. I'll tell you that. Yeah, it's Minecraft physics. Judo chop. Judo chop. Here's the link if anybody wants to check it out on their own. There's like 5 episodes. I just found this like yesterday. Man, a pork chop sounds good. Just sitting there, enjoying the fruits of his labor. I don't know if it has a story or not, but it's nighttime. Oh wow, okay. Notice how the zombie and Steve are wearing the same clothes? That's interesting. Okay, I see what you're talking about there, Azteca. If his mouth, well, the creature from the strain looks just like vampires from Blade 2 because fucking Guillermo del Toro ripped himself off. No Bell, it's Chuck Boris, Russian Coven. I kind of like it. It's all right. Okay. So he's got this is Latent Diffusion is the name of the channel there. He's got the First Night, the Cove, the Point, the Voyage Begins, and then the Village. But look at this here. Look at the armor he's got on. And the dog too. He's got the wolf that follows him. Look at this though. It's like 1.6 million views, 644,000, 497,000, 418. So you can start to see like this is blown up, and then people just kind of haven't really like continued on as much. But I wonder how many subs he has. Currently rocking 165,000 subscribers. And he's only been around now for a month, and he's got 165,000 subscribers. I do everything and anything creative currently. That is my craft 1979 series. This is great. Like the Craft is a fan-made dark fantasy Minecraft-inspired film series, reimagined as if it were a lost 1970s live-action fantasy movie. Like that actually has my interest, like quite a bit. It's comforting in a way. Yeah, right. It's kind of it has like a weird like liminal aspect to it. Yeah, more subs than me, even at the height of my career, had more subs than me. I only had 163,000 over the span of several years. And this man has done way better there. Crazy, man. Crazy fucking shit. All right, let's take a look here at this one here. We got this is the first teaser for A24's Friday the 13th prequel series. Crystal Lake. I mean, as if people needed more reason to like love Linda Cardinelli.
It's like someone put a curse on this town. It all started when that kid drowned last summer. There's something in these woods, and all it knows how to do is kill.
Mommy's here.
Okay, so is it like an ongoing series, or is it just going to be a limited series? Because I have no idea. It looks good. It looks good. Oh, wait, I want to go forward. What am I doing? All right. So the one I wanted to show you guys, because I'm not too sure how I feel about it, is I was awake this morning at 6 a.m. when the trailer for Tom Cruise's new movie, Digger, came out, which is a name for a movie that is in no way going to be problematic under any circumstance whatsoever. It ain't going to be a problem at all. Nobody is going to misuse that word. Not one damn bit. But this is, I'm not too sure what to make of this. The vibe I get out of this is very Doctor Strangelove, very Stanley Kubrick, shot 4:3, most likely for IMAX, large premium format. This movie, I don't quite know, but let's take a look at this.
Everything changes. One day you're a cat. Just take a little taste for daddy. Come on, sweetheart. Or a king. Next day you're just ashes in a box. How long would you say she has?
Between 2 weeks, 5 minutes.
Mr. Rockwell, my name is Sandy Clarkson.
Yeah, Sandy. How you been, buddy? You're the man with the 5-foot crap. Now, Glacier over there in Greenland, it shifts 5 feet. Now, this desk in front of me is bigger than 5 feet.
Mr. Rockwell.
My dick is a tenth of that size. What do you want me to shut down a $1 billion platform over something that's 10 times the size of my dick?
Oh, I don't believe you understand what's happening, sir.
What did you just say?
Sorry, sir.
Well, I know perfectly well what's going on there, because I'm paying for the whole thing. I'm paying for your fucking 90% Hungarian goose down winter jacket. I'm paying your salary. You want to shut her down?
Well,
say it!
Mr. President, we're utterly unprotected against a disaster of this magnitude.
What's our worst case scenario?
$18 trillion, sir.
Is that all the bad fucking news?
Oh, there's the nuclear waste, too.
Oh, Digger here got us into this mess, and Digger's gonna dig us out again.
Well, let's fucking go.
You knew long before the rest of us. That is why it is your problem.
If we can't control the course of nature, at least we can control the narrative.
But it happened.
Mother Nature, she loved the winter.
You're gonna save the world.
All right, fellas, Mother Nature wants to fight.
Is he okay? Mr. President.
Mr. President?
Fuck this iceberg, let's dash!
help you shape the story.
They already know the story.
They know the facts. The story is yet to be told.
When all else fails, you hit them with the truth. You know, the hard truth. Just bang, bang, bang. Woo! Woo!
Yeah, that feels good, doesn't it? That's my girl.
Yeah, I'm not too sure how the fuck I feel about that one. It looks, yeah, I saw that too, right? Every movie doesn't have any color. I saw someone like colorize it on Twitter today, and like people got real mad at him for it. It's crazy as fuck, dude. Like, what the fuck? Did I see the Danny McBride G.I. Joe talk? I did, man. I did. That's kind of got me a little bit hyped up, man. Like, I mean, not that I understand. I was like a child. I was very small when that show was. I watched the show, but like I watched it. I wasn't like in it. You know what I mean? But this is more like based off of like the comic books from G.I. Joe as well. And it kind of gave me like, you know, it's a very interesting concept of what McBride is doing with that one, by kind of having a bunch of Joes travel into a town that's entirely run by fucking Cobra. The best way I described it was like it's like Hot Fuzz, kind of like Hot Fuzz, right? That kind of like subversive nature of the town. And also, I mean, Hot Fuzz is fucking awesome. So I'm excited. Hopefully Paramount fucking makes it. Ahsoka here for 5. Thank you, buddy. They should combine SCP and Backrooms and the cinematic universe surrounding them. That might be tough to do, only because the Society for Containment Protocol, Secure, Contain, Protect, right? Is that what it is? SCP meaning it's Secure, Contain, Protect. So it is and I'm just like, this is what the online shit says. This is a collaborative fictional universe and internet-based writing project. Within the lore, the SCP Foundation is a secret global organization that captures, studies, and hides supernatural, paranormal, and anomalous phenomena from the general public, which is interesting. And honestly, Backrooms could kind of tie into that. But I don't think, because I know today, was it Cartoon Cat? Right, was that the one creepypasta, right? And let's see. So there's a new one today. Cartoon Cat got picked up. All right, we're gonna just fucking, oh god, it's the same fucking guy we looked at last week on that SCP shit. Motherfucker, I don't care. It's this guy here, right? This Cartoon Cat explained animation and story, 11 minutes 9 seconds. I don't need none of that shit there, son. I need a fucking quick ass, excellent. Here we go. We take a look here at this Brugal. Come on, baby. Fucking fired up.
One of the entities that's haunted our minds for years now is this monstrosity, the Cartoon Cat. And today, I'll be explaining everything we know about it, from its origins to its physical appearance to its behavior. I'm going to get into it all. I know this is a little bit different from what I normally do, but I do love the world of Trevor Henderson creatures. There's literally hundreds, and they're all entertaining. Hopefully you enjoy these videos. Let me know which ones I should go over next. Without further ado, let's get into the video, shall we? The Cartoon Cat is a very hostile, aggressive entity in the Trevor Henderson lore. And when Trevor was asked how he would describe the Cartoon Cat, he said the following, quote, something very old, a hungry, hollow rot, hiding behind an outdated, smiling face. As long as there are people watching, it has a hatch to our reality, end quote. Pretty terrifying. Physically, the Cartoon Cat looks like a pitch black, skinned, tall and slender humanoid with the head of a cat. Now, the facial skin of the cat is very hyper realistic and very grotesque.
Okay, so the vibe I'm getting out of this is it's like it takes the concept of like the cat from Shrek, you know, the meme, right? Hold on here. Shrek meme. No, black cat. This guy right here. Ooh, right, this guy.
You hit me in the head with a guitar?
You're a woman? Oh, I'll tell you this.
Okay, so that's kind of the vibe I got. Was like, ooh, and if you look at the cat here, kind of like that. Looks like that. We got wide ass fucking teeth, like that Mr. Rake looking motherfucker. All right, so there's a weird like thing that they're doing here with like weird smiles and teeth and shit, toothy motherfuckers, right? That's kind of the whole thing. Anyway, let's continue.
And its features, like its eyes and mouth, are overblown and out of proportion and huge, giving it a very cartoony, unnerving look. In fact, the entire body of the cartoon cat has a cartoon appearance, thus the name. Hey everyone, sorry to interrupt the video, but I actually have a special announcement to make. Have it as tall as a building, and others show it in much shorter heights or crawling on all fours. The cartoon cat's appearance has been compared to an old-timey animation, like those really old black and white Mickey Mouse movies. Think of that kind of animation. That's how this thing...
It's funny that he blurred out Toll Booth or Steamboat Willie. Toll Booth Willie. That's a whole other thing. If you know what that is, one's in the chat. Don't spoil it. Just put one. Even though that's now in the public domain. This might be an older video. I don't quite know. This video came out 2 years ago. Maybe that was. All right. Either way, here, let's just, let's see. I don't want to listen.
I know how it's all gonna end. It's just a rerun. A rerun of my favorite episode. It's a game of cat and mouse. You're the mouse. And you're gonna run and scream. They always scream. There's always parts being cut off, entrails being yanked from stomachs, bones being shattered to dust. Now, you try to hide, but I am gonna get ya. Yes, I'm gonna get you good. Why, just last night, I played the game with a little girl. She thought I was so cute. She tried to pet me, but I may have bitten her hand off. And she ran, and she screamed. She ran deep into an abandoned mall, and I crept through the shadows.
Wait,
steps
hold
reverberating.
up. Is that the fucking little girl from the Walking Dead video game? Is he just repurposing fucking Walking Dead Telltale clips? Hold up. No, it looks like her though. Anyway, I don't care. I'm already bored. All right. This is the thing. If this is the shit that's scaring children, man. Right? Like this shit, fuck, it's kind of dumb. You know, like the photos, what is it? Let's see here. Like this photo shouldn't, photos that should not exist sort of thing, right? Like here we go, like, 10 mysterious photos that should, like something like this. Maybe not that. I apologize for that. Right? Look at this one here. You got like this girl. There's a mask that's clearly hanging on a curtain back there or something like that. But it's looking like something like that. This inspires more horrific ideations of the mind than a fucking. All right, what do we got here? What's the? Oh, the guy back there. Clearly, someone back there. Maybe someone back there. Maybe an entity. I don't know. But this is looking at the girl's hairstyle. This is early 2000s. What's in this image? Let me find it. This is back over here by the tree. Yeah. Right. The whole point, like, on the fucking shoes. Anyway, that might be a joke. But I mean, this kind of shit can invoke creepier crap. Right? Damn it, turn it off, Jarbo. It's like a scared shitless. All right, we don't like that. There was a Hellraiser comic that had a Cenobite that resembles this cat-looking thing. Yeah, I mean, a lot of it's all kind of derivative, you know what I'm saying? But that's what they're doing with that shit. They're doing you know, all these Reddit stories now. That's what they're working on. This says I was at that wedding. Cool, man. How was the cake? Was the cake good? I hope so. You can see D's nuts in the background. Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. I don't know. I just feel like when I look at these kind of stories and it's all like, oh, we're buying up Reddit stores like Siren Head. That was interesting, but it's like, how are they going to make that work in a way that's going to like, you know, so you know, this cartoon cat. What was the last one that they just bought? It was something else. It's they just, you know, they just bought this fucking Reddit thing, I guess, or I don't even know. And I'm like, all right, cool, man. Like, you know, get your money, get your bag. Hell to the fuck yeah, right? That's kind of how I view it. You know, like I'm kind of cool. So I just have to, I don't know. I mean, maybe this is not aimed at me. You know, like when I was younger, and a lot of us here were younger. Oh yeah, right. The Mandela catalog. Thank you. Yeah, that's what it was. That was okay. Right. I kind of dug the vibe of it, but it was okay. Rational here says, remember the Slender Man movie? Which one? There was a couple. There was, hold on. Okay, hold on. All right. There was a movie that was made, Wendigo. All right. Wendigo. This movie came out 2013, 12 years ago, 2013 or whatever. 14 years. It came out a while ago. It's a found footage movie, Wendigo. And this one here is interesting because this is a Canadian movie. Right? This is fucking uncle.
Get out of the middle of bumfuck nowhere.
Hey, if you want to learn something about the middle of nowhere, you can ask my granddad. He'll teach you to respect the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, back when the middle of fucking nowhere was something to brag about.
It's a bunch of Canadians talking all sorts of shit, you know? Got fucking middle of fucking nowhere. We're out here fucking camping in the woods. We're looking for the Wendigo, which is a native spirit that we don't want to fucking anger too much. And then you get this uncle dude, right? Trying to find the uncle guy, you know, this uncle guy, whatever the fuck. It might be one of these dudes. I think it's this guy here. It's just like, he's calling everyone a cocksucker. Anyway, like, might be one of these dudes. This was made for like $20. And I ain't even hating on it.
I only paid $6,000 for that shed. See, when you think that's going to be done?
I don't know. Maybe tomorrow.
Maybe tomorrow.
It's been raining.
It's been raining. Is that thing on that camera?
No, there's not even a battery in it.
You better make that sure that's done. But I if not done by Wednesday, see, I'm going to call somebody else.
Yeah.
Can't waste all fucking summer waiting for that thing.
I love the accents.
Been busy there.
Busy doing what? Esprit, scratching your bum or what? Esprit, my shed, she's just waiting to be done. And I got things to put in there.
Well, I had things to do too.
I pay you good money up front for that. You remember? Who are you anyway?
I'm just a film student. I'm his nephew. We're camping out here doing a documentary.
Yeah. You know what? You slap some sense into his head or something with that camera. I don't care. Okay, but I need that job done. Me.
Sounds like JF Garapi.
Kidding me? See all.
Weirdo. Got your money, Clown. No refunds, buddy.
Talk to you later.
Yeah.
Wednesday.
We'll see you later.
Get somebody else.
Get somebody else. I don't fucking care.
You're terrible.
Okay, that's the uncle. The uncle literally just goes around like calling people cocksuckers. It's really funny. Anyway, so they get out. I'm just going to show you guys like towards the end of the fucking movie. Okay, like they're out here. I just want to get to the fucking chase scene. I think they're in the house. This is where it gets kind of weird.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I've been here a few years, my friend, and I know there's strange things going on at night. People all over my land at night, they come knocking at my door sometime. One time, it not rained for at least, 4 or 5 weeks. It was a drought. And all of a sudden, the next day I wake up, there's mud all over my property. I have to pay a fine because they say I use the water. Huh? That doesn't make sense.
I don't know. You think my uncle's behind it? You don't know what's going on.
I saw
I don't
him.
have anything
I
to tell
saw
you.
him kill that girl. I knock him over the head a little bit. It's all good, but you gotta tell me what he's up to. Ah, tabarnak.
I don't have anything to tell you.
You want me to do this the hard way?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it the hard way. I'll be back for you.
It's so Canadian. It's so awesome. Look at that fucking trash can, you fucking cocksucker. I'm gonna put on the fucking song like in Reservoir Dogs, but I can't use Stuck in the Middle with You because of copyright. So let me go and get my fucking knife so I can go and... How does CJH over there? I know he doesn't, but it sounds like he does. Watch the door. Watch the door over here, right? Door to the fucking left. Why is there a buzzsaw in the fucking thing? Oh no, the door fucking opened. Where is CJH to give us a live commentary for what life is like up there in the fucking Prince Edward Island?
Hello.
Oh yeah, watch this guy get fucking ganked like a fucking pig.
Hello. Open the door!
Steve! Somebody's open the door! Steve!
Oh no, we've gotten into computer graphics territory. Uh-oh, there's blood coming from underneath the door. If this is anything like a Canadian.
Okay, split up, find Brent. Check the back.
Look, it's a guy dressed
man,
like
fucking
fucking, it's a guy dressed like Doug
That's
Walker,
cranberry
man.
juice, right, man? Fucking hilarious, man. You know, every time you talk, everybody wanted to let you on this goddamn trip. This was a fucking release for him.
I found a gun, okay? There's another one in the shit.
What? Oh my god, what you fucking shit? Shit, fucker! Fuck all of you! Oh my god!
Oh my god! Where the fuck you going, man?
Fuck, you shot D! Fuck!
You okay?
You fucking shot!
Man.
What did you do? Fuck! What did you do?
Man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. I'm fucking sorry.
Forgive you. I forgive you. Oh shit, Cassie, don't film this. Cassie, don't fucking film this. Cassie, get out. Go find Brand.
Yeah.
Jeez, fuck. Fuck.
Hold on, I just want to get to the fucking car part. They're in the car. All right, like. I mean, you know what they say, if you die in Canada, you die in real life. Low budget Canadian film from like fucking 15 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, you can't knock it. No, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry too. Not as sorry as I am. No, I'm more sorry. Sorry. I need to be sorrier. Command unit here says sent you a short describing the Eisenhorn series. All right, cool. We'll take a look here. Anyway, I want to find the fucking them in the they have. Oh, here we go. I think this is like the end of it.
I'm always scared of cats. I'm always fucking careful.
I mean, you got to give him credit for having a fight scene in the back of a moving pickup truck going, 2 miles an hour. Why did you stop the car? Why did you stop the car?
Switch this shit off.
This is all the footage submitted by the survivors of this event. A team was sent to the pertinent locations immediately to recover any evidence. There was no evidence of the events shown in this film. The entire area was deserted, except for one other survivor. The survivor was taken in for interrogation. The following...
What is your name?
You know our name. Just ask your questions.
We have recordings of those events taken from your camera.
Anyway, so it's going to be a Slenderman reveal. This is like the one that, what about the 1989 McPherson tapes, the found footage film? Those are cool, man. The Australian one. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago, where you had the McPherson tape from Australia, and then the guy who did that redid that in the States, under Incident at Lake House or whatever the fuck it is. And then we saw that it was recut for like an alien abduction special on like UPN. They cut the movie down with some deleted. It's crazy shit, man. It's crazy shit. Is that stand-up comedian Doug Stanhope? He's sober, so I don't know if that's the case or not. Perhaps you can help solve a mystery. Craziness there. I mean, I always kind of enjoyed that. I thought it was silly fun. Okay. Here is. All right. So we're getting into some of the Eisenhorn. All right. This is from Command Unit about the Eisenhorn series. I don't know. We'll see. It's only a minute long.
There are 3 reasons why I think so many people say Eisenhorn is a place you should start reading Warhammer. 1. They're incredibly compelling mystery novels. Eisenhorn is an inquisitor, effectively an investigator. Unlike many great mystery novels, they unfold, and what you thought was a mystery often turns out just to be a cover for the real mystery. 2. Inquisitors don't act alone. They have a retinue. Think Scooby Gang, except grim and dark. And a lot of the novel centers on the interaction between the group members, who are fully fleshed out characters, and some even have their own books. The 3rd reason is change. If we think of the Scooby Gang, Shaggy and Velma are always the same character. In Eisenhorn, characters are affected by events. So the Eisenhorn on page 1 is quite different from the one at the end of the book. These are by Dan Abnett, arguably Warhammer's best writer, and amazingly good books.
Okay, so what we've learned is that the characters change, the characters grow, and the characters, are able to do more, evolve. Sounds good. All right, Mo. Yeah, see you, buddy. I'm actually gonna kind of wrap this thing up too. As I was getting ready to go to the bathroom, my 8-year-old was like, she came in the room and she was like, I can't sleep, so I gotta check on her and make sure she's okay. Anything else going on today that I just don't remember? Yeah, I was thinking about it, and like as interesting as talking about the news is, I think one of the reasons why I enjoy the AI stuff as much as I do, like I said, is just because it's not like it's new, it's different, it's not coming out of the same old Hollywood system, you know. And like there's definitely like a fight about it, but it's not like it's not the same, I think, as other kind of fights, if that makes any sense. I don't know. But okay. So I think I'm gonna dip out, but I do appreciate y'all hanging and chilling and shit. I have the next couple days off. I should probably be live. I got nothing else really going on. And I'll see you guys on the flip side. Thank you again for the super chats, the supports, and the likes. Have a good one, everybody, and peace out.